She made her India debut a good 11 years ago. She is now considered a veteran, but now also known for plying her trade in T20 cricket across the globe. She is an all-rounder par excellence, someone who's played with a lot of distinction for her teams in franchise cricket, and of course, has played for India as well. In the news at the moment, because of what has happened at the WPL auction, the third highest bid that we saw at the 2026 WPL auction at 2.4 crore. It is the UP Warriors that have got Shikha Pandey. Shikha, thank you so much for speaking to India today. I know that your talent and the kind of money that you've drawn does not surprise me personally, but as you know, it has taken a lot of people by surprise simply because what happens in cricket, as you know, anyone who's playing international cricket are usually in the news. So you're just looking at those names. Because I think the last time you played was 2023. Maybe because of that, a lot of people who don't follow women's cricket may not have known that here is an all-rounder. And you know, all-rounders go at a premium, can go at that price. But you know, you've got at almost 6 times your base price. Firstly, tell me, were you surprised? Were you expecting it when the bidding was happening? What was going through your mind?
Firstly, thanks a lot for having me, sir. I was I was anxious the whole day before,
Mm.
and I'm someone who stays in the moment. So I just told myself, whatever happens, happens. I had a very good team in Delhi Capitals. I really thoroughly
Yes.
enjoyed playing in that setup, and I was hoping that I would go back to them. But then, like how the auction whole auction works out, it works out in different ways. Um, Firstly, to be very honest, I don't look at the price tag. I just look at how I actually followed the auction. I wasn't following the first few rounds, but then when my name came in, I was in the other room. My mother was watching very intently, and then I kind of joined in. I was happy that there were two teams which went on, and that's how the price tag increased. I was happy that I was being valued, which is what a cricketer wants sometimes. And about the price tag, I'm not pretty sure. With women's cricket, it is slightly different. The kind of eyeballs that men's cricket gets and the media attention, it's not at par when it comes to women's cricket.
Mm.
And if people were following women's cricket, probably they would know.
I agree. I completely agree. Anyone who watches the Women's Big Bash or the Super Smashers or the Women's Caribbean Premier League would have known what value Shikha brings to the table. But because you mentioned you were watching the entire auction very closely, and I know that you know you are a big cricket pundit as well, apart from being just a player. So I'm going to ask not Shikha Pandey but Shikipedia then to tell us. By the way, before I ask you that question, where did this name come from? Who gave you this name, and what's the reason behind?
So I'm actually I love watching cricket. I've probably gotten it from my father. He's a huge
Mm.
cricket fanatic. As a kid growing up, I know when we wouldn't have power supply at home, I remember going along with him with the transistor, walking on the road and
Mm.
listening to the comms. So huge cricket buff that way, and I watch any kind of cricket that happens. And uh, so the name was given by Jemmy because
Mm.
she thought I knew everything about cricket, not just that, a lot of other general knowledge stuff as well. I was studious
Mm.
at school, and so she along with that whole gang, Smriti, were like, "No, you're Shikipedia," and they just gave me the name, and it stuck.
Okay, since you talk about Jemmy, a couple of things I want to ask you about. Firstly, if anyone follows Shikha on social media, they'll know that probably Jemmy and Shikha share a very close bond. So tell us a bit about that friendship. You know, how did that develop? And also, is I know you've gone for a great prize. You are going to give your best to the UP team, but that also breaks your partnership with Jemmy. You know, at the Delhi franchise. So speak to us a bit about you and the bonding that you share with Jemmy.
So there's this funny story. The last time when the auction was happening in 2023, we were playing the World Cup, and it was my comeback year. And I didn't play the first two games, so I was not really bothered about the auction. Uh, I was more worried about playing the World Cup, getting a
Mm.
chance to perform, getting an opportunity. So when the auction was happening, the whole team was in the team room watching the auction live, and I hadn't joined them. I was reading a book, or probably I was watching something on Netflix, and I wasn't really following the auction. So I had switched off my phone. Like I said, I did get a little anxious, but I had switched off my phone. And then when I switched it on, I had like 12 or 13 missed calls from Jemmy and few more missed calls from other friends of mine. And there were like 20 odd missed calls. And then I call her back and she says, "Yeah, you're in my team." And I'm like, "Oh, no, it's fun. Demi is really really a nice teammate, and she's someone who I'll remember not just for what she is on the field. I share a good friendship with Jemmy, and I'm really happy for how she did during the World Cup after what she had to face during the initial few rounds. So really happy for her, and also happy for India. We won the World Cup at last. So good.
I think the last time you played for India was 2023, the T20 World Cup. That was also your comeback. But explain to us this emergence of these professional leagues across the globe that are happening, the role that IPL teams are playing by having franchises there, and how much has it helped you professionally and personally to be in the thick of things. You can, work as hard, you can dream as hard, but if you're not playing top level cricket, sometimes your level can drop a bit. So people noticing your level being right up there, even though not playing for India. Just talk to us about that those leagues that you play in.
I would say the culture has still not gotten into women's cricket as it is prevalent in men's cricket. Men's cricket, you see a lot of players actually not accepting national contracts and only playing, franchise cricket. It is not the same in women's cricket, I would say. But now you can see that a lot of players who are going around the world playing franchise cricket. You cited me as an example. There's Amanda Jade Wellington. She had also gone and played in Canada. There's Laura Harris, again, a really good player. She goes around playing. So I guess for players who are not being favored by the national selectors, they have ways to go. And I find this really good because the more leagues you play, the more eyeballs you attract, and the more you can work towards your case. So that's just my thinking, and I think for me it's basically my love for the sport. Even now when I play, I try learning, I try getting better, and I've been actually very lucky to have been able to play so many franchise tournaments, and the friendships that I've made along the way, I value them a lot. And like I said, I love playing cricket. So as long as I'm mentally and physically fit and I'm loving what I'm doing, I continue to do that.